Hello, Bobby Torres of Fright Box Recording here. Now, I know I hear it over and over and over again. Mixing metal guitars or heavy guitars or rock guitars is challenging. They're either too bright or too boomy or not bright enough or thin. And one of the most common questions I get is how do you tame the boominess of your guitars without making them sound weak? And I just recently received this email. Antoine says, "Hello, Bobby. I hope you are doing well. I have some problems in my mix, especially with my rhythm guitars. There's some annoying boomy frequencies I could hear when palm muting. I don't use a DI box because I didn't get one, and I think this is an input issue. Thanks for your lifesaver content." Okay, I thought this was a great email because it clearly demonstrates and highlights when people blame pieces of gear or maybe misled into thinking that their gear's the issue, when in reality, it's their process. And in this situation, it's his mixing process or his mixing approach. Now, I'm not picking on Antoine. I have been there myself, and so many of us fall victim to the same exact situation. So I want to clearly demonstrate to him in this video and to you what to do when facing this issue, because it's something that we all face, or most of us face, when dealing with the heavier genres of music, whether it's rock or metal. So I have a mix here pulled up with some guitar tracks that, again, present this exact same issue. Let's take a listen. Okay, so in my opinion, this is a decent guitar tone, but it's overly boomy, right? Now, when you're a little more advanced and you've been mixing for a while, the first thing you're probably gonna do is grab an EQ, right? Right now I'm in Reaper. I'm gonna pull up a stock EQ in Reaper, and I'm gonna, of course, high pass the guitars, right? Let's try that. So when I high pass the guitars at around 200 hertz or 180 hertz, it gets rid of the boominess, but in my opinion, it takes away from the power of the tone, and I really don't want that. Now, of course, this works. It will work just fine in the mix, but I want these guitars sounding heavy as hell. Again, the performance is nice and tight, the production is tight, and I don't want to miss out on the chugging. I just want to get them a little more in control, and I want my guitar tone to be a little clearer without them sounding thin. Now, in case you haven't guessed it already, it's gonna come down to compression, and to be more specific, multi-band compression. Now, I hear it already. People are gonna be complaining in the comments saying they don't have a multi-band compressor. Well, I'm not even a Reaper user, and Reaper comes with a stock multi-band compressor that's really, really good, actually. And as far as I know, more and more DAWs are including them these days. I'm a Pro Tools user. Unfortunately, as far as I know, Pro Tools does not include a multi-band compressor. In Pro Tools, I use the Waves C4. But right now, I'm gonna pull up the stock multi-band compressor right here in Reaper. And I'm not even going to EQ these guitars, just to demonstrate how powerful this technique really is. Okay, I think it's called the X-Comp. Now, my goal here is to only control the range between around 100 hertz to around 250 hertz. This is where the boominess generally takes place on heavy guitar tracks when someone is palm muting, where the guitar player is palm muting. So again, my crossover is from 100 hertz to 250. And I'm looking to knock off around 2 to 3 to maybe 5 dB of gain reduction only within that range. And I'm not gonna touch any of the other frequencies within my guitar tracks. Now let's hear how this works out. So in my opinion, that is the best of both worlds. I still have my heavy guitar tone. All of the chunking is in place, but it's just better controlled. And the guitars still sound thick and not thin like they did when I overly high-passed my rhythm guitar tracks. And again, I'm just using a stock plugin right here in Reaper. You do not need anything fancy to accomplish this. You don't need to spend a ton of money on overpriced plugins. You just need a multi-band compressor and to compress from around 100 hertz to 250, maybe 300 hertz by 3 to 4 to 5 dB only when the guitar player is palm muting. And that's gonna keep that range under control. So Antoine, it is not your input. You don't need a DI. You just need to understand how to use multi-band compression in this fashion. And I also want to say this, it doesn't matter if you're using amp sims or real amps. I use both and it's the exact same process. People think there's this massive difference between amp sims and real amps, and to be honest with you, in today's day and age, there is not. They are interchangeable. I don't care what anyone says. Again, I use both in the studio all of the time. Now, the truth is, when it comes to achieving pro level results in your studio, so much of your final results and the professionalism of your results comes down to how well you understand basic EQ and compression, as demonstrated in this video. Now, to help you out, I've put something together called my Crisp and Clear Heavy Mix Formula. The Crisp and Clear Heavy Mix Formula is a cheat sheet that contains all of my starting points for both EQ and compression for all of the main instruments within a heavier production. The PDF guide also contains clickable links to private tutorials that include multi-track downloads so you can practice along with me mixing the exact same files that I'm mixing in the video lessons. Now, as a gift to you for watching this video, the Crisp and Clear Heavy Mix Formula is absolutely free right now, and you could have direct access right now by clicking the link below in this video's description. Now, if you're someone that records all of your music in a home studio, I will leave a card above to where you can watch me produce an entire song using budget gear in non-studio spaces. No acoustic treatment, no expensive plugins or microphones or any of that stuff. In this 3-part series, I prove to you, you don't need anything fancy to achieve 100% professional level results. Again, you could watch that series by clicking the card above my head. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. Till next time, happy mixing.